back today, finally recording a video that I've been meaning to record for months now, actually. As you can see, it's called Heart of an Evangelist, and I'm hoping to speak to all types of people throughout this video, as in people who are not only Christians. I'm going to be speaking to Christians as well, but I'm also going to be speaking to non-believers, like people who don't believe in Jesus, or people who may even hate Christians. And I just want to put it out there that my goal by the end of this video is not necessarily to coerce you into my beliefs. In fact, it's never the case. But more for you to just at least see where I'm coming from. Apologize on behalf of Christians who have been doing the most or too much or whatever, but also see where they're coming from as well. And hopefully, even if you choose not to become a Christian at the end of the video, at the end of the day or whatever, you can at least understand why Christians are the way they are, why they believe the things that they believe, and actually how a Christian should act. Many of you may have already watched my video discussion with Angelica and Alex, pretty much discussing Christian creativity, why there's a lack of it. And this is kind of a glean from that. A lot of things that we said there is pretty much this is going to be either wrapping it up in a way, or even in a sense just adding on to it, adding on to the piece to make it a more holistic. So I want to first start off by explaining how I used to be and how I am now. So on this page called Intuitive Awakening by Personality Hacker, I love Personality Hacker. For you guys who may not know, I listen to a lot of Antonio Dodge and Joe Markowitz. They're their co-founders, podcasts and everything. And also I like to engage with a lot of the people on the Intuitive Awakening page. We just discuss a whole bunch of different things, helping us with personal development and all of that. And one of the things that I posted on there, it's kind of long, so I'm not going to read the whole thing, even though I'm displaying it right now, so you can pause it and read it if you want to. But essentially what I was saying was that when I first got saved, when I first came to Jesus, when I first actually started, becoming serious with my walk with Jesus, then I had this mindset where I was pretty much going crazy. I wanted to evangelize to everybody. And not that that's necessarily a problem, but I was doing it in the wrong way. I was doing it in a way of urgency, oh my goodness, I need to talk to all of these people. I every conversation I have to bring up Jesus explicitly somehow, because if I don't then these people are gonna go to hell, and I don't want them to go to hell. And that, once again, is not really a bad mindset to have, but I've been learning so much more how to actually communicate that message more effectively, and it has been working. I've been actually getting into more spiritual discussions than even I was back then, because back then I was actually driving people away. Even though I did also bring some people, it was doing almost more damage than it was good. And I talk about this in my blog, Fantastic Food, Poisonous Platter. And if you guys go check it out, in that blog, that was my first blog article I've ever written. And in that blog, I pretty much talked about how this man came on the subway train in New York, and everything that he was preaching, I agreed with. I believe that it is true. However, the way that he was doing it was just so wrong and so bad. He's like, "Excuse me, everybody, please. You all need to listen to me." It was an African man, of course. He's like, and he just started preaching, and he was praying in tongues in the midst, in between sentences, "So everybody, you need to accept Jesus Christ, or else you will go to hell. Do you want to go to hell?" And it's whoa. You don't do that on New York City trains. You know what I mean? You just don't. And this is exactly what happened. There were people around him. Everybody on the subway trains, first of all, like I said, it's New York City. It's the Bronx. Everyone was just looking at him like, yo, what is this dude? Like, what is he doing? And even a little girl, I mentioned it in the blog, she was like, Mommy, what is he saying? And the mom was like, don't pay him any mind. And I was like, wow. And like I said, I agreed with everything that he was saying, but that delivery was so horrible. And that delivery will make you or break you. The point of this video, once again, is going to be to help people to understand, like non-believers, to understand why we Christians, we do believe that it is best for us, and like to hopefully like give you guys some perspective and to hold space for us who actually do go out and like try to talk to you about Jesus, how that's actually like a good thing, to even take it as like flattering, even if you don't accept him at the end of the day. And also for Christians, like how to better evangelize, how to better communicate with people, not in a manipulative way, but more of in a way that will be just more engaging for both parties, more more accepting, more of something that you two are like both trying to like understand each other with. So that's mainly like what this video is going to be about. I want to start this off by reading a post that I read years ago, and I actually honestly do not know if it was written by a Christian who was posing as an atheist or if an actual atheist wrote this, but regardless, the message still holds true. Dear Christian, you are really convinced that you've got all the answers, huh? You've really got yourself tricked into believing that you're 100% right. Well, let me tell you just one thing. Do you consider yourself to be compassionate of other humans? If you're right, as you say you are, and believe that, then how can you sleep at night? When you speak with me, you are speaking with someone who you believe is walking directly into eternal damnation, into an endless onslaught of horrendous pain, which your loving yet righteous God created. Yet you stand by and do nothing. If you believe one bit that thousands every day were falling into an eternal and unreachable fate, you should be running the streets mad with rage at their blindness. That's equivalent to standing on a street corner and watching everyone pass by, that every person that passes you walk blindly directly into the path of a bus and die. Yet you stand idly by and do nothing. You're just twiddling your thumbs, happy in the knowledge that one day that walk signal will shine your way across the road. Think about it. Imagine the horrors hell must have in store if the Bible is true. You're just going to allow that to happen and not care about saving anyone but yourself? If you're right, then you're an uncaring, unemotional, and purely selfish expletive that has no right to talk about subjects such as love and caring. Sincerely, a lost soul. Now, if you guys thought that was bad, check out a video called Letter from Hell. That one I know that, it's not real. That one I know that a Christian wrote it from the perspective. But from reading that, you can see, hopefully get a little bit of an idea why us Christians are usually very adamant about sharing our faith. It's not supposed to be a way to like shove our faith down a non-believer's throat to make them, believe it, and, or us pitying them or us trying to judge them or confine them or whatever. But the simple truth is, if we are right with what we believe and what our faith says, it would literally just be cruel for us not to share this message with you, because to do that is literally watching you go to hell. Now, you might not believe it, but like I said, if we believe it, it's cruel to be like, oh, well, they don't believe it, so they're exempt. No. If we believe that you are on your way to hell, eternal damnation, and like that moment that you die, we believe that like that moment that you die, no matter how agnostic, how atheistic, whatever religion that you're worshiping, whatever, if you die and you come face to face with God and you're like, whoa, all of that was real. Wow, like all of that is true. All of these stuff that the Christians were saying that I thought was stupid, it's real. It's now too late. You know, like the second you die is literally a second too late. You can't be like, God, I'm sorry, can you give me another chance to go back to earth and, you know, like relive my life? I'd actually listen to Denzel when he preaches to me about the Bible this time. You know, I would stop trying to challenge him so much and instead try to understand his faith more, and understand you more and like spend more time. Oh my goodness, God. And God literally, unfortunately, God forbid, but you know, he'd literally just have to look at you and be like, I'm sorry, but it's too late. And you know, I don't know you well enough to allow you access into my kingdom. You never got saved. You know, your sins have never been washed away by Jesus. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to take you to a place, or I'm not take you, but like, you know, send you off to a place where my presence is not. And that's what hell is. Hell is dark because God is light. Hell is chaotic because God is peace. Hell is literally just God giving people what they wanted. Not everyone, but you know, like people, most people, a lot of people, what they wanted. Like a place like where they don't believe in God and all of that, you know, those things. It's like, well, okay, like this is how such a place looks like. So like I said, that's kind of where we Christians are coming from. We are supposed to be coming to you with a loving heart, to try and deliver that message to you so that you can at least consider our perspective and consider, you know, getting saved. And speaking of hell and everything, it's getting really hot over here, so give me a second. Okay, yes, this is so much better. All right, so picking up from where we just cut off, you guys can see how a little bit, hopefully, more of a Christian's perspective whenever they're evangelizing to you, whenever they're sharing their faith with you. Like I said, most of this is going to be how I believe a Christian should be and where they should be coming from, but it's not going to be really like saying that all Christians are always going to be coming from this place. But for those Christians who are not, please don't base the whole faith and the whole group of Christians off of those bad ones, because to be honest, they don't really represent us well. And I feel like it's just unfair to look at them, just like it's unfair to look at the Muslims who destroyed the World Trade Center and then think that all Muslims are like horrible. Now, noted, I don't agree with Muslim theology and, you know, Muslim beliefs and everything, but, you know, like, just, I still respect that, you know, there's a difference between certain Muslims, if you guys get what I'm saying. So in the same sense, I want you guys to understand, you know, like, when non-believers become offended that Christians are sharing, you know, their faith, or are attempting to try and like adopt the person, the individual, into their own beliefs, see it as an act of love, because that's really what it's supposed to be. That Christian, from doing that, is not trying to get like some type of ego boost. They're not really supposed to be. They're not supposed to be really like, oh, let's see how many souls I can go win because I'm going to get this crown. But it's more of they're communicating to you, hey, man, I know that this might sound weird to you. I know that whatever, you might not even believe it. But I just wanted to give you this chance to at least share what I believe with you, just in case, if it is true, I won't feel the guilt that I never shared it with you. You guys might just have to go and see that Letter from Hell video. Pretty much it's a guy, he's writing a letter to his friend, and he's talking about like how like, oh, I was in, like, today I died in the car crash. I, you know, was taken up, and then I actually like ran into these like angels, and they looked through this book and they couldn't find my name in there, and so then they started like taking me to this place, and there was a whole bunch of hellfire and this and blah blah blah. Pretty much the end of the thing is like him saying, why didn't you ever tell me about Jesus? Did you think that like you were like I was gonna laugh at you, or did you think even if I was gonna laugh at you, like this is so much more important? Now I'm gonna be dying here. I'm gonna be like eternally, not just like for 50 or 500 years, but eternally burning up here and pretty much like being punished and everything for this reason. And is that worth you trying to like save face? Hell is a eternal damnation. It's horrible. Like a lot of people are like, well, if I go to hell, that's where the party's at. You know what? It's not. Like it's literally the worst that you could even imagine times 1,000 for eternity. So pretty much times infinity. That's how bad it is. And even if you don't believe in Christianity, just consider the perspective that if Christianity is right, is this a risk that you're willing to take to be like, and if so, like, okay. But my goal right here is to at least, give you guys the proper facts, which I have been doing in my Misconceptions on Christianity series, and I'm going to be continuing that and addressing a lot of questions such as like, what is hell, and like, do Christians hate gay people, and a whole bunch of like other things like that, pretty much coming from a Christian's perspective. But this is just to help you guys get an idea of like why Christians evangelize, why Christians go out and like try and seemingly persuade you to believe and adopt their beliefs. As a Christian, I also know that there's a difference between here and here. I made a video called To Know and To Know. And pretty much in that video, what I was saying, is a very complicated video, but if you guys go check it out, hopefully you can follow and track with me. Pretty much what I'm saying is that there's no way to know factually that, oh, God is real, Jesus resurrected on the third day, and like all of the stuff that the Bible says is true. Like there's no way to like really know it like 100% factual. However, I believe it 100% here in my heart. And the reason why is because of my experiences that I've had. Like I can mention so many different experiences. I can literally tell you guys things that like would make you go like, whoa, okay, maybe there is a God and there is Jesus, stuff like that. And everybody has their own testimonies, their own experiences, but I know that I don't really know everything to be true. I just know everything to be true. Like I 100% believe it here. And nobody can ever really 100% believe it here until finally you die and you see everything that takes place after then. And that's essentially, in a nutshell, what my To Know and To Know video is. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because I do not know that my faith is accurate, then you have no choice but to be open to other faiths. You have no choice but to, allow a Muslim or an atheist or even a Satanist, and I've spoken to a few of those, to explain their perspective, because everybody has a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like Satanists, from the ones that I've spoken to and what I've read about, they actually have a kind of like pity for Satan, because they see God as this big bully that just kicked Satan out of heaven. And at the end of the day, they think that just like how Christians believe that Jesus is going to come back and banish Satan once and for all, and we're all going to rule on the earth and in heaven, Satanists believe that, well, actually at the end, Satan is going to overturn everything, and then he's going to grant us a kingdom, and God's going to go down, stuff like that. Who can really know which one's actually going to happen? You can't until you get there, but you can know it. And the thing that's trippy is the same way that you can know something is the same way that somebody else can know something. And then sometimes that's when you have to add in the knowing. So there's certain things like with Hinduism where like I point out certain things and then some Hindus would be like, oh shoot, okay, maybe my belief is not really that right after all, because this is a contradiction and this doesn't really make sense or whatever. Same thing with like Islam. One just big thing is they believe that Jesus never died, but it was actually like Judas. But then, yeah, we're not going to get into that right now, but that's a whole other video. I'll probably put it in my Misconceptions on Christianity series. But there's just a whole bunch of things like facts to at least cut off certain options. And Christianity, even when certain things come up, you can't really like challenge truth. Truth will always trump on top eventually. And so we as Christians should never be afraid for people to examine the Bible and to see if it holds up with history, stuff like that, because we want to believe in truth, not necessarily in the Bible, making it be like, oh, whatever the Bible says is just what happens. But like, no, if the Bible just seemingly lines up with what truth is, then the Bible just must be the truth. And we have to look at it properly as well, in context and all of that. So I, once again, am saying that there's not really a way to know, but you can still know about your Christian faith. See, the thing that we also have to understand is that back then, it was so much easier in a way to evangelize, despite, like everyone like going around like killing those who are preaching Christ and everything. But more of a sense of like people were more willing to believe, or they just didn't even know about Jesus' resurrection and everything. So the disciples, like their job was to like go around and tell everyone about Jesus, because it'd pretty much be like the person's like first time even hearing about this man Jesus. Now compare that to our modern day, where everybody already knows who Jesus is, or at least like maybe like 90 to 95% of people do. And once they know, at least they know of him. They don't know him, but they know of him enough to where they have a certain perception of Jesus. And until you are able to properly dissect that perception of Jesus and, straighten out whatever misconceptions that they have and whatever like facts that they have wrong, you won't really get to them. Pretty much what I'm saying is you nowadays have to understand how people see Jesus and view Jesus first. Know where they are first before you start to reason with them and try to evangelize to them. I spoke to someone recently who she was literally saying that one of the reasons why she doesn't like Christianity is because she thinks that God is unfair, because she doesn't understand why God would punish Jesus for rebelling against him or something like that. And I was like, wait, what? Is that what you really believe? And I thought she was joking at first, but she's like dead serious. I'm like, whoa, I have to straighten this out for you, There's that type of situation. And there's also situations where like, well, I don't want to become a Christian because they hate gay people. And it's like, but they don't. Or I don't want to become a Christian because, they're against women. They think that women are stupid, and they're pretty much like misogynists. And it's like, no, we're not really. And these are the type of things that you have to like straighten out for non-believers. But in order to straighten it out for them, you have to understand every single narrative that they have, whatever they may think, whatever they may already have preconceived about Jesus, about Christianity, and then correct them properly. Have that conversation. Allow them to see that you are fully understanding where they're coming from, what their faith is, what their religion is, whatever it may be, or lack of it. And then as you're doing that, you're understanding and you're saying, okay, I've taken the time to walk around and see exactly what you're seeing. But this is why, even after seeing all of this, I still believe in this. And they will be more susceptible to actually walking over to where you are and seeing things the way that you see it. And then, even if they do not accept, at the end of the day, what you're talking about, you can at least know that they are declining it in a proper manner, as in off of actual truth about the gospel as opposed to what they may believe of the gospel, which is actually misconceptions. I hope that's making sense. Pretty much, I'm saying that our evangelism as Christians needs to be adapted and adjusted to fit our modern day. We going out on the streets and yelling, repent or you're going to hell is not going to work anymore. In fact, that'll drive more people away from Christianity than bring them towards Christianity. And those who do come to Christianity are coming out of fear. You don't want that. We must learn to adapt our evangelism in a way where we're actually listening to the people that we're speaking with. We're praying for them, whether it be in private or if they're granting you opportunity to pray with them, then that's cool. But you're speaking to them and you're understanding where they're coming from enough to where now you can properly, help them or correct whatever misconceptions that they may have. You're essentially saying, hey, you don't have to use this map right now, even though I would like for you to, but I at least would like to leave this map with you. A map with the correct directions and all of that. And maybe one day, after you planted that seed, after you've given that map, then they will be reminded of that map and they will use it. At least you want to leave them a good way to like what Christianity actually is. And that's kind of what Jesus told us to do. Jesus told us to pretty much like go out into all the world and and preach and let everyone know about him. But he also mentioned that if people do not accept him, then you just dust off your feet and keep it stepping. That's all there is to it. And pretty much that's how I'm feeling that Christianity, we need to do better when it comes to evangelism, because we don't take enough time to listen to the other parties. We do not take enough time to actually understand where they are right now and where they're coming from first before we all of a sudden hop on. But if we were to do that, then it would be so much more helpful. My message is I want us to be more compassionate and more loving, like how Jesus was. I want us to be more understanding of what other people's beliefs are, and allowing them to even explain it, because in allowing them to explain, you are actually able to understand where they're coming from, and you understand that, hey, that's just as subjective to you as this is to me, and I just want to at least share my perspective. At the end of the day, like I said, my whole goal is not necessarily, it'd be great if you gave your life to Christ and all that, but my whole goal is for you to be like, oh, I didn't think of Christianity this way, but now, since I know Denzel, since I've spoken to Denzel, since I've watched his videos, I can pretty much tell that I can understand why he's a Christian, what a Christian's actually supposed to be like, what Christianity actually means. And if I ever want to become a Christian, I at least know who to go to and what my reasons will be, as opposed to someone who just chooses not to be a Christian because they don't even understand what Christianity really is. They think that they do, but they really don't. So yeah, that's about all for today. I'm actually really tired. I just got out of church. But that's about all for today. And I'm hoping that this lands properly. I'm hoping that you guys understand what I'm saying. And be on the lookout for the next few videos that I'm going to be posting out. Make sure to hit me up. Leave comments, questions, whatever. Email me if you want coaching. I include discipleship in my coaching, so if you want a better relationship with Jesus, to better understand Christian theology and everything, I'm your guy. Hit me up, email me, let me know hey, I saw your video, I would like to schedule a session with you. The sessions are, as of right now, $50 an hour. $25 for the first hour usually. It's sort of like a trial-free run. As well as profiling sessions. If you want to know your personality type, then yeah, $25. And every session after that, first $25 is $50 for now. It'll soon be going up because I'm working on my certification process. Woohoo! But yes, that's pretty much about it for right now. And I hope that all of that was making sense. Please check out my Misconceptions on Christianity series. Misconceptions on Christianity Part 3 will be coming out also sometime this summer. I'm going to address a lot of like juicy stuff. So yeah, without further ado, thanks again for watching, and done.